guys, my name is Emily Schultz and I'm a youth leader at Granite. I started this little series called Lessons Learned where I want to help you guys learn lessons that I had to learn the hard way, the easy way. And this week I want to talk about friendship and how important friendship is and how some friendships are super easy and you have no issues with them, and some friendships you have to put in a little bit more effort into them to make them work. And so I want you to start by thinking about your best friend and how easy it is to hang out with them. You can talk to them about anything. You don't have to hide any part of yourself. If you're like me, you can probably just walk into their house without even knocking because that's how close you are. But not all friendships are like that. There are some friendships that don't come so easily, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't put in the effort. And that's how my friendship with Ryan was. I had to put in a lot of effort to make it work, even though we were only friends for a small amount of time. So when Ryan and I talked, we would always talk about really deep stuff, and he opened up to me about things that he didn't tell his family, he didn't tell even his best friends, and I don't know why he was able to talk to me about this stuff or why he was comfortable telling me these things. I was fine with it. I wanted to help him, but I think it was also hard for me because I wanted to be there for him, but I was afraid that by him opening up and me helping him, it meant that he started to like me as more than just a friend, and I didn't like him that way. And I think that's always the case. Not always. I think when guys and girls become friends, it's natural for one side to think, oh, I hope they don't like me, or I hope they don't start liking me. That was definitely the case for me and Ryan. I didn't like him like that, and I was afraid that he did like me like that. So a week before prom, Ryan asked me to go with him. And this was just the end of the world to me. We had become such good friends, and I was just devastated that he liked me as more than a friend, because all I thought was it's going to ruin our relationship. And as a naive little 16-year-old, I didn't even think to ask Ryan if he wanted to go as friends or as more than friends. I just automatically assumed, oh, Ryan likes me, friendship over. And so I stopped talking to him as much, and I just figured he wouldn't want to be friends with me anymore because I told him I don't want to go to prom with him. And so I stopped putting effort into our friendship. And every time he would send me a meme or ask me how I've been, I would answer with these passive, I don't really care, just really not nice texts. Like, he would be so nice to me and I wouldn't put in the effort at all because I just figured we're not friends anymore. I don't need to put in the effort. Which, looking back, must have hurt Ryan so badly because I recently found out from his mom, we've been talking since his passing, I recently found out that Ryan didn't care that I said no to prom. He wanted to be friends with me anyways. I was the one who stopped being friends with him after I said no to prom because I figured that he was upset with me. That wasn't the case at all. Ryan didn't care that I said no to prom. He still wanted to be friends with me. But getting back to the lesson, some friendships can be really hard at times. And there are, I think, 3 main reasons for this. Number 1 is that in high school and middle school, you can get a lot of flashback from your friends for the type of people you hang out with. I talked about this last week, where you get judged for hanging out with a certain type of person when that's really not your type. But I want you guys to look at Jesus as an example for this. In Luke 5:29-32, Jesus is having dinner with Levi and other tax collectors. Some Pharisees, or teachers of the law, were confused as to why Jesus was hanging around with such unholy people. Jesus confronted the teachers of the law, telling them that he has come to help those who need him, just as a sick person goes to a doctor, not a healthy person. And Jesus didn't judge those that he hung around. Yes, he was hanging out with these unholy people, but that's because he wanted to help them, and he wasn't judging them because of their actions. He loved them regardless. And I think we need to take this example and we need to do the same. We need to be like Jesus and love others and not care what type of people we hang out with and not allow high school and middle school to affect the friends that we choose to have. Reason number 2 is that building friendships is hard. I know I'd much rather hang out with my best friend who I'm completely comfortable around than a new friend who I'm not 100% comfortable around yet. It's so much easier to just hang out with someone you're comfortable with than put effort into a new friendship when you kind of have to watch yourself and the things you say. And number 3 is what I said before about the whole boy-girl thing, where it's sometimes hard to become friends with a boy if you're a girl, or a girl if you're a boy, when you don't know if they like you and you're afraid they're going to start liking you and end up ruining the relationship anyways. Now, obviously, you shouldn't force yourself to be friends with someone who you think may like you if that makes you uncomfortable. That's not fair. But I also don't want you guys to ditch a relationship for that reason alone. Some friendships are really worth putting in the effort, and I see now that my relationship with Ryan was really worth the effort, and I should have put the effort in because he was a good person and he was a good friend to me, and I wasn't a good friend to him. And something else I want you guys to look out for is if someone is struggling and reaching out for you, if they're showing you signs of depression and anxiety and they're reaching out for help because they're afraid to tell their friends or family and they're reaching out for you. And I know it's easy to assume now that they're looking for attention because maybe they want you to like them or they want you to feel pity for them, but you need to be cautious with this because people really do have these feelings and they really do struggle with telling people they're close to about these issues. So if someone is reaching out to you and you don't know if they're truly having these emotions, talk to their friends and ask them, or send them to a youth leader or a teacher and help them get the help that they need, because if they're not faking, then they really are struggling and they're looking for you to help them. And again, please remember that some friendships are really worth putting the effort in. And if I had known this before Ryan had passed, I would have put so much effort into our friendship and into making him one of my best friends. And so I hope you guys take this and you start putting some effort into those relationships that you know need a little more effort, or when a friend comes along and you really don't know if you should put in the effort, spend some time thinking about it, and maybe you should put the effort in to be helping that person out. And thank you for watching this video. I hope you stay tuned for next week, which is the last week of these Devos.